A perfect mother's mind has been completely erased and rewritten. She now believes she is a resurrected God, and her family are mere obstacles to her divine purpose.
She's lost her mind. She thinks she's a resurrected being and a god.
What makes her a danger to herself and to others?
Threatened me, murder me, kill me.
Her husband's desperate plea for help was a warning siren for a coming storm of death. But no one could predict the multi-state mystery of corpses and missing children that would follow.
Lori, where are your kids?
It began with a locked door. January 2019. Charles Vallow returned from a business trip to a silent, empty house. His wife, Lori, his kids, JJ and Tylee, his car, and a large sum of his money, all vanished without a trace.
I can't get in touch with our kids.
How old are your kids?
6.5 and 16.
This wasn't a simple marital dispute. This was an exorcism. Lori was convinced the man at her door wasn't her husband. He was a demon named Nick Schneider, who had possessed Charles's body.
She said, "You're not Charles. I don't know who you are, what you did with Charles, but I can murder you now with my powers."
Is this just all recent, or has it been going on?
Been going on for about 4 or 5 years. It's gotten really, really bad lately. She goes to the temple every day and speaks with Moroni and Jesus Christ.
Her new reality was crafted by Chad Daybell, a doomsday author who preached about the end of the world. Together, they believed they were part of the 144,000 saints chosen to rule in the aftermath. Lori's mission was to eliminate the darkness.
So this morning when I took my son to school, he was waiting somewhere and stole my purse out of the car, my whole purse. So my phone, my wallet, my money, my everything was in there.
What is it that motivates him doing this kind of stuff?
She spun a web of lies, claiming Charles was a violent adulterer she had rightfully locked out. But his fear wasn't for himself. It was for the children trapped inside Lori's delusion. He knew she was capable of anything.
So how does she pose a threat to your children?
I don't know what she's going to do with them. I don't know if she's going to flee with them. She's going to hurt them. Today she said, "Come take the kids. I don't care what happens to them."
His final attempt to save them was an emergency mental health petition. He begged authorities to see the madness he saw. But after a 2-hour assessment, doctors released her. They found the self-proclaimed God to be perfectly sane. That decision signed his death warrant.
Hey team, we got one subject down, apparent gunshot wounds to the chest. He's right here in the living room. Firearm's gonna be in the front door, in the front bedroom, laying on the ground next to a case.
6 months after that first 911 call, Charles was dead on Lori's living room floor, shot twice. The shooter was her brother, Alex Cox. He claimed self-defense, a story that began to instantly unravel under the slightest pressure.
He came at me with a bat, and he hit me in the back of the head with a bat. I went to my room and got my gun.
You always
Yes.
bring a gun? Okay, why didn't you stay just in your bedroom, close the door? Is that something you didn't think about, or?
It didn't even occur to me.
That single sentence shattered his entire defense. It proved this wasn't a panicked reaction. It was a hunt. One shot wasn't enough. A second was fired into Charles's chest as he lay helpless on the ground.
He's never really, besides grabbing us and pushing us, but not punching us or something. But with Tylee, he has gotten physical.
But Charles's first wife would tell a completely different story. He was never violent. Lori and Alex were building a narrative to justify a murder they had already decided to commit. The police bought it. With Charles gone, Lori was free. She immediately moved to Rexburg, Idaho, the hometown of Chad Daybell. She took JJ and Tylee with her, straight into the lion's den. It was the last time they would be seen alive by anyone who cared.
So she believed that Charles was gone. He was already gone. So she was treating him like he was next by her.
The belief system was a death sentence. People could become zombies, vessels for dark spirits. And according to Chad Daybell's revelations, The only way to free a trapped soul was to destroy the zombie body.
I too have seen the resurrected Jesus Christ, and he has told me my mission, and he has sent me to help people and lift them in their missions.
Her mission, it seemed, was murder. Lori began telling friends that her own son, JJ, was acting differently, that he said he loved Satan. She was diagnosing her children as zombies, marking them for execution. The clock was ticking. In September 2019, Lori, Alex, JJ, and Tylee took a trip to Yellowstone National Park. Security cameras captured Tylee alive for the last time. After that, she simply ceased to exist. Days later, a neighbor's camera caught JJ running into his Idaho home. He was never seen again. For months, Lori lied. She told police JJ was in Arizona with a friend. That friend knew nothing about it.
After they had made a welfare check on JJ, according to Lori, her son was with her friend Melanie back in Arizona. But Melanie not only denied having him, but she also told police Lori had asked her to lie.
Then another sudden death. Lori's brother, Alex Cox, the man who shot Charles, was found dead. His death was ruled natural causes, a coincidence that defied all belief. The bodies were piling up around the woman who thought she was a god. The police were now out of time. They served Lori with a court order to physically produce her children. The deadline came and went. She sat in Hawaii, marrying Chad Daybell on a beach, smiling for photos. She had no children to produce, only lies. Her arrest was the beginning of the endgame. But where were the children? The search for the truth would lead police to a property filled with dark secrets and unimaginable horror. Subscribe to see how this nightmare ends and the shocking evidence that sealed her fate. The search of Chad Daybell's property would reveal the horrifying truth. JJ Vallow was found buried in a pet cemetery, wrapped in duct tape and plastic. Tylee Ryan's remains were charred and dismembered, burned in a fire pit.
My beautiful children, Tylee Ashlyn and Joshua Jackson, rest safely this day in the arms of Jesus. And I look forward to the day when we are all reunited and I too will rest with them in the arms of my Jesus.
At her trial, Lori Vallow was convicted of the murders of her 2 children. She showed no remorse. In a final, twisted statement, she said her children were resting safely in the arms of Jesus. She had completed her mission. She became the goddess of death she always believed she was. And now she will spend the rest of her life in a cage, forever separated from the world she tried to destroy. A mother's love, twisted into the most evil form of betrayal.